We are live. What's up, Game of Thrones fans? This is Beyond the Throne. This is sadly the series finale of one of the greatest shows of all time, Game
Amen.
of Thrones. And I am super sad, but I'm also super excited because I'm here with one of my boys, the co-host, Zadius Z Man Smith. How's it going, brother?
It is going good, sir. How are you doing today?
Dude, I couldn't watch it last night. Watch it this afternoon, and
Hmm.
gonna get very controversial up in here.
And I can understand that. I know. I feel like our opinions are going to be controversial to a lot of people. Like this whole season has been a very polarizing season for a lot of people, and I feel like the series finale is the same way. As I put after I watched it last night, I literally put on Facebook a post of me of a big E, like a gif, a big E, like eating popcorn, like ooh, I can't wait to see what the critics have to say about this. And boy, did they not disappoint. It was good seeing there's a lot of negativity, but there's also some positivity out there, so that's good to see also.
Yep. All right, so let's break down how our final episode will work.
Mhm.
We are going to break down the series finale of Game of Thrones, talk about what we loved, what we didn't like, and then we have some special segments. We have one where we are ranking our personal favorite to least favorite Game of Thrones seasons. All eight. We'll explain why. And we have two, count them, two crown segments. We have our normal crown of the week and also total MVP of the whole series. You guys can put your votes down below who you think we will pick. But it's not going to be no surprise here. We'll get to that.
Probably not. But please, if y'all have any ideas who y'all think should be the MVP for the whole series, please post in the chat, post it on Facebook, and we might take your votes into accordance with our votes. Probably not. No democracy. How foolish of you! This is not
I
democracy.
see what
This
you did there.
yeah, this is a kingdom. So this is a monarchy.
So, Z, start us off with just where we kicked off the series finale.
Yo, the way that this series finale kicked off was I described it as Danny was kind of in her full Thanos mode, but now I've heard other people talk about a more evil dictator throughout the series, and I throughout history, and I don't really want to bring that type of negative person up, but just think of Danny is like she has just raised King's Landing. The whole city is still burning. You see ash, but then also I think you technically see snow falling as well. But
Yeah.
he, John has you see John having problems with what's going on. Him and Davos are trying to are walking through the streets of King's Landing,
No,
looking at
it's
all the
Tyrion. It's
destruction.
Tyrion and Davos.
Yeah, that's right. All three of them were pretty much walking
Yep.
through the streets of King's Landing, through the ashes. We see a guy that was literally alive, but he was pretty much burned alive because he was walking and had like second degree burns on him. Just
Third degree.
walking,
He was fried.
yeah, just walking down the street. He was literally like probably the Walking Dead, and just everybody. Our three main characters were in such awe, and um, anyway, Tyrion broke off from the group, and he went to go I guess in his mind, he automatically went to go check to see if Jamie and Cersei were
This
able to
thing
make it
got
out.
me.
This this
Ah.
this is gonna be the heartstring. This was the one that tugged on the heartstrings because if anybody was still thinking that Cersei or Jamie have possibly found some way to escape their end last week, I was kind of in that boat. I was hoping that maybe something had opened up and they had escaped.
See, I kind of had a thought, like as I was watching it, that Jamie was gonna be dead, but Cersei was gonna be like kind of crawling out, and then like Tyrion would be the one to end her life. Because remember, the prophecy again said that you will die with the hands of your
Your
younger
brother.
brother.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought maybe that would be a way to kind of like end her misery,
Mm-hmm.
but that probably wouldn't have worked anyway.
Yeah, but the beauty of this was Tyrion does find Jamie and Cersei's body, and that was a moment he just started breaking down crying. And I've heard a lot of people say he was just breaking down because he started crying because he saw his brother was dead. But I think he was legit crying because both of them were dead, not just Jamie. But as much as he hated Cersei, he wanted her and Jamie to live together.
Actually, I don't think Tyrion really ever hated Cersei. Cersei hated him, but always deep down, I think Tyrion, and that's why Tyrion believed in her at the end of season 7, beginning of season 8, was because he wanted to believe that his older sister did have something to live for. So he deep down, he does still love her, and that's why he breaks down when he sees her body.
Oh yeah. I definitely think he loves her. He loves his brother more, but he definitely has some love for Cersei, and that was just the moment of the episode that just struck my heartstrings. Like wow.
Wasn't this the first time we ever saw Tyrion like fully break down though? Like full cry breakdown?
Yeah, I think so, because only other time I can think of him kind of being a little upset in this manner was when he killed Shay back in season 4. He was upset about it. He was visibly upset when he was strangling her, but I think this is the first time we've literally heard tears from Tyrion and stuff
and
like
that just broke my heart, dude.
Yeah, I did. But this was definitely not the end of the episode. This was all happening within like the first 15 minutes, I think, too, because we had Tyrion finding his brother and sister dead, and mind you, Darth Dany had just flown into the into like the remains of the Red Keep, and there was this cool ass shot when Dany was walking
behind her.
Yes, that was amazing. Which like she's dressed in her all black dark suit, and Drogon's wings appear behind her. It just like literally, it looked like she was a dragon.
You see her in the middle with wings behind her shoulders.
Exactly, that was awesome. Like that's a cool shot. That's a cool shot to see right there. And she's going to address her stormtroopers. I mean, her Sully and stuff.
That did remind me of what was it? The Force Awakens.
Yeah. Where it was where Admiral Hux was talking to all the to all the stormtroopers and stuff.
Yeah, dude. I loved Dany speaking Dothraki.
Oh yeah, and yeah,
the intensity in her voice as you're reading the words.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that she would go. She would start talking to. She was definitely speaking to Reggie, but I was kind of hoping she was gonna go into her Aunt Sully speak by like the McGinnis. I'm like, because I always remember that from season 3, hint people. But that was just it was an impactful speech because I didn't write down all of it, but this how that she in her mind she's a liberator. She's not a tyrant. She's like she's speaking to her people after just raising a city, killing millions of people in the city. She says she freed them from a tyrant.
Which I love how Dany's like, I have liberated people from a tyrant. But if you really look at it, she did in one episode way worse than Cersei did in her time as reign.
Exactly. I think Tyrion even pointed out later in the episode. I think when he was talking to Jon, I believe it was.
That's such a good scene.
Yeah, like we'll get there, but just this scene where she's talking about freeing, liberating everybody from Winterfell to Karth, and even people in the people of Essos, she's talking about going back over there and liberating everybody. Nobody's gonna stand in her way. And
which again, I know we talked about this last episode, but we all saw this coming.
Yeah,
and especially going back to like season 4, season 5, season 6, season 7, we saw it grow each time. Like first time it was, oh, okay, because she's being attacked. Understandable. These are evil people. But then no one brings this up, and I'm bringing it up. We saw Half Mad Queen when she killed Sam's family for not kneeling in front of her. That was the beginning of the Mad Danny. It wasn't right off the bat. That was from season 7.
But you know what? You could probably pick up well, that was season 7. When was that she burnt all the calls? Season 6? Even though they were Batman again, they would have done worse to her probably, but yeah, that's usually not your first thought, like to burn them all, like whenever you're
and also like again, she in season 7 she killed Sam's father and brother, not because they had an army to attack them. No, it was just them two.
Exactly. And because they weren't kneel.
Just for not kneeling.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's talking about, oh, it's too sudden. No, it's not.
Yeah, thankfully, I don't think I've heard too many people say that this week, but you definitely heard it last week. Everybody talking about, oh my God, can't believe she did this. Why is this happening? There's no.
Did you not watch last season?
Have you not watched since the beginning of the series? Again, you brought up last week just the fact of whenever Khal Drogo poured the gold on her brother, a crown for a king. Like, he was just. I was like, he's no dragon. Fire can kill the dragon.
She was stone cold the entire time.
Mm-hmm. And again, Viserys was a horrible dude. Period. But I think I read something today that said that you've been cheering Dany when she's been doing this to everybody else, but when she does something like this to your favorite people, then you get angry at her. Don't. It was basically their way of saying like, yes, she's gone evil now, but she's always technically been evil to somebody else. She's always
had that Targaryen blood running through her veins and not afraid to show it.
Exactly, and she's always been a villain in somebody else's story, but then get pretty much like you're always a hero in your own story. And in Dany's eyes, she is.
She screwed over the leader of the Dothraki.
You mean
the Unsullied?
Oh yeah. Wait. Grey Worm? Or are you talking about the Second Sons?
The dude who owned the Unsullied. Remember, because she was like a dragon for your army, and then the dragon just attacked, like burned him.
Yeah. So,
I mean, it wasn't like she was never cunning.
I remember exactly what episode you're talking about. We'll talk about that later. But there's always been signs of Dany in this mode, and I was glad to see her finally kind of embrace this in this way, because again, kind of like how I felt about Thanos last year in Infinity War. Like, you are crazy. I see your point, but you're going about this the wrong way.
Every good villain feels like they're right and can make the audience believe they're right.
Exactly, and like Dany, no, and yeah, it was such a great speech, and even I saw my girl Arya was down there.
And you notice you had 3 main characters, 2 behind her, 1 in front of her. Arya Stark in the crowd, Jon Snow behind her, Tyrion beside Jon.
Yeah, and then until Tyrion decided to say, you know what, fuck this, I'm done with this. And he literally took off his pen. I forgot what he said to her. Like, oh no.
Oh, I remember. He said, she goes, you freed your brother. That's treason. And he goes, yes, I did free my brother, but you've killed thousands of innocent people.
Yeah, you destroyed the city or something like that. And he threw his pen down, like down the steps. And I personally thought that she was going to have him killed right there. So I'm glad.
I was like, no.
Yeah. I'm glad she didn't. I'm glad that she saw a little bit of reason in that moment, but that was scary for me in the Tyrion moment.
And remember, the only reason she had that compassion is because she knew Jon was behind her.
You think so? Maybe so, yeah.
Definitely. because she still loves John up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, because even John goes to beg for Tyrion's forgiveness.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, I believe that's the next scene, correct?
Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much like once she throws Tyrion to the jail.
We missed a major plot point actually.
Actually, just what were you about to say?
Grey Worm, the very beginning.
Killing the
army.
That's true, because it was when right before right before the whole Dark Dany moment. Him and Jon pretty much almost came to blows, because Jon didn't want Grey Worm to kill these innocent, unarmed Lannister soldiers, but Grey Worm says he was doing it in the name of his queen, and there was almost about to be a fight because Jon grabbed Grey Worm's arm, but all the soldiers looked like they were about to attack, but it all calmed down thankfully at that moment. But
and then Grey Worm still slit all their throats.
Oh yeah, he still killed everybody. All of those soldiers.
Does come to kind of my my gripe, and it's a lot of people gripes, and I kind of agree. The pacing is a bit faster because they do have 6 episodes. So it seems like people can teleport. Because how in the hell
I know
Grey Worm right there beside Dany before Jon was there, when Jon was in front of Grey Worm, and Grey Worm still had to kill 6 other people.
Yeah. I feel like Jon took his time probably to get there. Again, this is just me making excuses for him.
Dude, again, like that's the tiniest of nitpicks. I understand 6 episodes.
For all I know, Grey Worm just did bibbity bobbity boom and just teleport right there.
Genie magic.
Exactly. Yeah, but I was really thinking things were about to come to blows right now, but thankfully they didn't. But you want to pick up whenever with the jail scene? Because you said that you were liking every. Oh, but one other thing was that I thought was pretty damn funny was like when Jon and Daenerys had that stare down for a little bit right before she walked back into the castle after her Darth Dany moment. Jon turns to look at her, and then all of a sudden you pan to the right, and Arya just popped up like that. That's what happens. Grey Worm has Arya skills. That's probably what happened.
Grey Worm's a faceless.
Yeah, Arya was all the way down there behind Dany's army. And then all of a sudden, what are you doing, Jon? All right, she just popped up right there. And
again, I do want to debunk something since we are talking about Arya. People talking about why she didn't use the faceless this whole season. I mean, I understand why. Because she pretty much gave it up after season 7 when she returned home. Yeah, she even said, like, I'm home. This is my family. I'm not going to be the faceless. So it wouldn't make a lot of sense for her to become the faceless. Like, again, like I heard a rumor that some people wanted her to be Bran in disguise to kill the Night King. But again, that means Arya would have had to kill Bran. And I do not see Arya killing her brother.
Some people got too far up.
That made me even more mad, though. Because it's Arya going back on protecting the family.
Yeah, some people got really way too high on themselves, like with these theories and stuff like that. But that definitely would have not made sense. And addressing the faceless thing is, I feel like her being the faceless man and using the faces were more for a revenge purpose.
Her revenge,
and she got that all out of the way pretty much. First of all, she
killing Walder Frey.
Walder Frey, exactly. And yes, she still had him like after she right before she killed Littlefinger, but that was kind of her last moment. I feel like she didn't need him after like her, Sansa, and Bran basically had control of Winterfell. She didn't need, and my thing is, I feel like her learning, her first of all becoming a water dancer and her becoming a faceless man were more about the facts of her becoming like not necessarily a knight but a warrior, not necessarily an assassin, but just for her to become a warrior. period. So
She did all that to protect herself.
exactly.
And actually, if you think about it, that was predicted way back when Arya started the Faceless, the training with the Faceless. She was training for something. And the Faceless knew that, hence why he agreed to train her.
Yeah,
So
well,
I think the Faceless, like the Faceless God or whatever she meets,
the mini face guy.
yeah, I think he knew what her mission was, like Melisandre did.
Well, I think you know what, that is one person I wish we got. Even though I'm not surprised that we didn't see more of him this season, like him at all, Jack in the guard. But I mean, he always knew something was powerful about something powerful was with Arya. Maybe like he knew that she would be a great killer. Again, I think that's the main reason why he let her go, like in season 6 and so. Yeah, she like. I feel like not a lot of people walk out on the Faceless Man.
No.
So
And they even said, like, no one walks out on us. Because
exactly.
normally they get killed if they try to walk out.
Exactly. And she says, a girl has a name.
No face.
Girl is Arya Stark of Winterfell, and I'm going home. And you just see his, like, he gives like a nod of approval and he smiles. And now we're talking
that
about
moment right there was when she really stopped being the Faceless and started being herself.
No, that was just the begin. That was kind of the beginning, because that was right when she was going to not to Cart, but to she was going to go kill Walter. She didn't actually give up on her mission to revenge until remember she met Hot Pie.
Yeah, what I think that wasn't the Faceless. That was Arya. That was for Arya's family. That was one last thing that Arya had to do, not something that, because she's now the Faceless, that the Faceless wanted to do. It's something that, and that, the whole scenes right there where she leaves, then she kills Walter Frey, then she gets to Winterfell. That whole linear story was her, like, stopping becoming the Faceless and started becoming Arya Stark again.
Well, yeah, I'm not disputing the fact that she's not Arya in that moment. I just thought you were saying that she would stop using like her faces at that moment.
No.
But yeah, I hear what you're saying. But yeah, she was definitely Arya. She was definitely Arya from the moment she left the House of Black and White and stuff in season 6. So a girl was definitely Arya Stark in that moment.
Back on topic. I don't know how we got off a topic, but
we'll see. Oh yeah, because she popped up right beside Jon, but she basically did that to warn Jon, because she told him, your girl is a killer. Like, you are a threat to her reign, so you need to watch out for yourself. So, and she was speaking truth to him about that, because Dany has been unhinged. So
I think she said, I know the face of a killer.
Exactly.
Such a great line for Arya to have.
Yeah, it was. Like, she's like, I know what killer is. Like, I know what face of a killer.
So,
she's a killer.
Speaking of Arya, and we'll get back on topic soon, I promise, but do you think her riding the white horse at the end of last episode symbolized the death of Dany this episode? Because in the books, the white horse stands for death, and Arya's riding to King's Landing, or away from King's Landing, to where Dany was.
You know what? I just literally think that was a parting shot to make people think. I don't think it really meant anything, because she didn't kill anybody in this episode. I think it was for us to give us ideas of, what does this mean? To have us start speculating, but in the end, it didn't have a lot to do with anything. Like, I actually have a gripe about something else that doesn't have something to do with anything, but that'll come later in the episode. But you can pick up with the conversation and Jon and
the conversation scene between Jon Snow and Tyrion Lannister was so good. I'm gonna go through kind of brief notes of what I remember from my brain. I love how in 20 seconds, like a 40 to 20 second spill, Tyrion was like, it started with them, but they were bad guys and we cheered. Then we went here. Okay, they're bad guys. All right, they were going to hurt her. We cheered. And then he keeps on, and we cheered and we cheered and we cheered. And then he goes, "How long before she thinks we're all the enemy?"
Mm-hmm.
I'm paraphrasing a lot, but pretty much like, what will happen when she gets such a big head of people loving and cheering for her, and then she starts to see everybody as the enemy? People who don't agree with her reign, people who don't, don't want to kneel or don't want to clap anymore. What's going to happen? Jon says, "Well, she's our queen," and then Tyrion's like, "What about your sisters?"
Mm-hmm.
Because the first place Dany's gonna go and
It's Winterfell.
is Winterfell, because she still has that gripe with Sansa in episode 2, where Sansa said, "I'm not giving up the North."
Mm-hmm.
So you knew that Dany was gonna go and burn down Winterfell with everybody inside.
Yeah, and they've had a hot relationship this whole season, and I did not mean that pun, but it was not intended. But I'll take it though. But yeah, their relationship has been messed up for the whole season, and you're right. She definitely went up for Winterfell first, and she even pretty much said as much when she was talking to the Wreck and Sully. But one other thing that happened in the scene was Jon brought up my homeboy Maester Aemon's words that he said to him, like, "Love is the death of duty." But then
duty is the death of love.
Love, exactly. Tyrion kind of switched around, like, like duty is the death of love, which is a major foreshadow. But go ahead.
He said duty.
Come on, man. I was trying to avoid it too, but
all right, it's official. We are 9 years old.
Yeah, but this was a great scene, all in all.
That was so good.
It definitely led to what was about to happen. So,
dude, I love, like, a lot of people love the battles, and the battles are awesome. I love the one-on-one talks.
Exactly. I feel like that's why I love. Mm-hmm. This show has a lot of character moments, which is why it ranks in my top 2 favorite shows of all time. Like, the battles are cool, but the character moments are pretty much damn near like a lot better than just like battle moments. Like, literally the moment from this season when they were all around the fire and just drinking Winterfell. That was such an epic moment. That I'm sorry, I felt more in that moment than I probably felt from Walt telling Skyler, say, "I am the one who knocks," like in Breaking Bad. Like, okay, you're a best scary dude. That's cool. You do you, Walt. But this is a heartfelt moment. I'm gonna give my heartfelt moment. If I want to be feared, if I want to be scary, I'll go watch Breaking Bad. If I want some good emotional moments, this is pretty much this is the show I want to watch. If I want a show that's gonna pull the heartstrings, this is the show I'm gonna watch. When Arya sees her brother come out the gates, they're screaming, "The King of the North, the King of the North, King of the North," and you see he's beheaded, and they have Grey Wind's head on top of it. That's fucked up. That's the emotion that I want to see. All right.
Exactly. But yeah, I love the human interaction. And that's what we got here. It was raw, it was emotional. It was Tyrion pleading to Jon. And also going back to the "we cheered" rant he had, that was them talking about us as the fans.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I love that parallel between the characters and the fans, and the line was blurred in this one scene. Because yes, in season 1, we cheered when she, killed her brother, or technically Drogo did, but she stood there, she watched. We cheered for that because he was a bad guy. We cheered, in all these seasons when she ended slavery, but she burned people and hung them out on,
unlike the crosses, the mile markers. That's what it was.
Yeah, the mile markers. We cheered because, again, they're doing a bad thing. They're bad guys. But we just kept cheering. And when you really think about it, we shouldn't have been cheering. Yes, they were bad people, but that was just more bloodshed.
Yeah,
Everywhere she went, she ended with bloodshed. And we should have saw that coming.
yeah. There were definitely different ways that we could have handled a lot of those moments beforehand. Even though Kraснess, I'm happy that what happened to him. But again, we'll talk about Kraснess later. So I promise you. But you're directly right. We're like it was kind of like Tyrion holding the mirror up to people to us. Like, yeah, this is all that y'all did. You're the reason why she feels so confident about herself that she's doing the right thing. And it pretty much she pretty much said as much in the next scene because
which we'll get to in 1 second. But also wanted to bring up something. What was I trying to say? Did you think it could work with both Jon and Dany on the throne together?
No, not at all. If you had asked me this last season, yeah, I would say yes. But with Jorah gone, with Missandei gone, with Rhaegal gone, nah. I think she felt like she sacrificed too much to have anything to be sharing this with anybody else. And maybe if he wouldn't have told her who he was, maybe so, but that's not Jon. So
she would have found out anyway, though.
Yeah, I agree. And so I don't think there was any way that that Jon and Dany could have worked together. Like, even though she tries to make it seen that way, she tries to make it she's like, we can rule together, just me and you.
Again, did you get Star Wars Empire Strikes Back? We could rule together.
Yeah, there's been a couple of Star Wars references. We get it, Dan and Dave. We're about to go do Star Wars. They had to shove it down our throats. Like, literally, there was a lot of Star Wars moments in this movie, in this episode.
But again, that could be just our Star Wars
geekdom. Yeah, our fandom. Yeah.
It probably wasn't meant that way, but just us being Star Wars fans, we just kind of notice it.
Yeah, right.
But let's get to the scene. Mm-hmm. Jon goes and meets Dany. Which, again, how the hell is the Iron Throne the only thing that's, like, still intact?
Yeah, right. And it was just amazing that it was pretty much just how it was depicted in that vision back in season 2.
It was.
Yeah. Like, there was nothing but ash. Well, at least for a second we thought it was ash, but it was actually snow on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
That snow was falling in there. So, like, the castle was burnt, but the Iron Throne, aka the most uncomfortable chair in the world.
The most uncomfortable fucking chair.
Yeah, I don't understand the appeal of the Iron Throne. Give me a nice, good recliner any day. I don't need something I'm gonna sit on that's hard and cold. I can't get comfortable in that. That's ridiculous.
And all right, so let's get to the actual scene. Jon and Dany are talking. Mm-hmm. He's talking about why'd you kill the innocent. She said to prove I'm paraphrasing a lot, but to prove a point, to make a statement, blah, blah, blah. And then she says, we can rule together. Marry me, pretty much, is what she's saying. Like, be with me and we can rule together. And Jon says, you are my queen, always. They kiss, and then you hear the chink. At first, I was like, what? Because, like, in the back of my mind, I knew that he would potentially do it. Mm-hmm. I didn't think he'd actually go through with it, especially when we had like 45 minutes to an hour left.
Exactly. Like, I literally said, "Holy shit!" Like when I started, like, "Oh my god, he actually did it!" And part of me, I was expecting any turn. I thought that she was gonna see the knife and she was gonna go batshit crazy and called on Sully to come get him or something. I thought she was gonna find some way to survive, but no. She just took the knife and he laid her down and caressed her and like.
Oh my god, Drogon's reaction.
Oh yeah, when Drogon came in, I thought that was gonna be the end of Jon. I'm like, oh, bye Jon. But he came in and like you said, I don't have pets, but I've seen like how they look at their like he nudged at his mama, basically say, "Hey, get up." You know how I think about it? Have you ever
He
seen
lost, he
yeah,
lost his two brothers and his mother.
exactly. And have you ever seen the movie The Land Before Time?
Uh,
It
maybe.
might be it's actually before your time. That's the funny thing
Is it
about
like
it.
99?
No, it's like 88.
Shit, I haven't been born yet.
Yeah, it's like 88 or 89, but it was just a scene where Littlefoot was asking his mama, like, "Wake up, mom! His mom is dead." And like, oh god, it's just how
Man,
how Simba was doing to his dad, like, "Dad, get up, like we need to go home." Like it's like that's how Drogon was doing
mhm.
to Danny, and like, wow,
And
he
then
really misses his mom.
he just goes berserk, shoots fire all over the building, and then as the flames come up, I love this scene so
Mhm.
much because you have Drogon right here. He's blowing down where the Iron Throne is kept, and then he
Mhm.
looks and he just blows fire and melts the Iron Throne.
Mhm.
Which
But it,
a lot of people are talking about how like, oh, that makes the whole point of the series so pointless. No, it doesn't. The If you notice, almost nobody who has been king has been seated on the throne more than once or twice if you count Joffrey, and it's usually when they're crowned. That's it. The throne is the symbol, but it's still the name, the recognition of king or queen that's most powerful.
that's true. Like, I mean, even our current king has his own mode of transportation, his own permanent seat. But again, we'll talk about that later. But
I
but
think that's the one that you and me are going to disagree on.
I don't know. But you might be surprised. But it was it. I also saw people wondering if Drogon was just going wild, or if he actually had a motive. And part of me thinks he was kind of. I'm not gonna say he's a brilliant animal, but I think he was semi-intelligent because I think he knew what he was doing. I think in his mind, his mom had been trying to win this title of this chair for so long that basically has killed her. That she's done things that has led to this moment that killed her. And so I think he might just be throwing a tantrum, but I think he's melting down the Iron Throne. Like if my mom can have it,
No
or
one,
like or basically no one can have it, or just as a symbol, like listen, this thing has ruined my life. Let me destroy it. And it was a brilliant scene, and he picks Danny
which,
up.
which you notice another symbolism, and I just realized this. Danny was talking before her death scene about how she heard stories that the Iron Throne was made out of swords of falling, what is it, Targaryen soldiers?
Yeah, yeah, of was it Aegon soldiers or
Yeah,
Aaron?
yeah.
Yeah.
If you notice, there's fire and blood in this one scene. Fire from Drogon, the blood from Dany.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Pretty
And
much the
hey,
last of the Targaryens besides Jon, but he's more half.
yeah, but I mean, technically, he even mentioned it. He even when he was talking to Tyrion, like, if her legacy is fire and blood, that means my legacy is too. And technically, he's right. He's gonna burn down. He's kind of responsible for the Iron Throne being burnt and melted. And yet, he
Yeah,
also has the bloods of it. He has his blood of his aunt on his hands also. So
his
fire,
his
but it's
aunt
his
plus
legacy too.
lover,
Yeah, yeah, his auntie lover.
his auntie lover.
Yeah, but this was a great scene. It definitely caught me by surprise. It caught me by surprise that it happened this early,
Do you
and
think
it
that
caught me
Danny
by
went out weak?
what?
I said, do you think that Danny went out weak? Because I don't.
No, no, not at all. Like I need to see her like being speared. I didn't want Arya to kill her. I would have been okay with it, but I didn't want Arya to kill her. I think it was great to have an intimate moment like this one thing, if I could have changed anything, I could have changed anything, and yes, I'm glad that some people lived through this. I would have loved it if when John was throwing her, John had stabbed her and she was dead. It was uncharacteristic to me that Grey Worm or none of them solely came in and got him. And I'm surprised they didn't kill him originally right then, but I would have done that a little bit differently. But then again, I'm not complaining about how it happened because I mean justice does prevail in its own way.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah.
the reason I'm asking is because people had a problem with the way Cersei died, and I don't think we ever mentioned this on last episode. I never had a problem with the way Cersei died. Because when you look at it, none of the people in charge who were tyrants ever had like the worst death. Joffrey got poisoned, so that was gruesome enough, but it was a poisoning. It was a king's death. Joffrey killed himself. Oh.
That was such a beautiful moment too. Like when I saw when Joffrey's death, still probably actually my favorite death of all time. Like on this show, oh my god, seeing Joffrey's little face turn purple, like I shouldn't get that much glee from a kid dying, but he's a little asshole. I could say.
Tommen killed himself. I'm sorry, I said Joffrey killed himself.
Oh, well, yeah.
Tommen killed himself.
Myrcella, I miss her.
Freaking King Baratheon. He died from a boar attack that we didn't even see on screen.
Yeah, that was kind of whack.
I mean, none of the tyrant leaders. Like, look at Ramsay.
Well,
another death scene we didn't see, but Sansa saw it.
Yeah, he got
most gruesome. But the thing that people have to learn is they are high royalty, so they're gonna die in a way that's proper for them.
Yeah, I would say Rob got it pretty bad too, though. Like Rob got shot by arrows, got stabbed in the heart, and the baby little Ned got stabbed a couple times. Oh my god, the red way he got stabbed in his stomach in his mama's womb. But yeah, like if anybody's like complaining, like I'm really past the complainers. Like they will find literally any reason to complain about this series. Like if you're complaining about the way she's died, like guys, get a life or don't watch the show anymore. Like
I found the way she died very poetic because not only did she die with the person she loves, but she died in the building in the place that she ruled over like a tyrant.
Well,
it was literally the building and the bricks that she built, out of these tortured people. Like, not really built, but ruled over out of these people who she tortured, came back to kill her.
Well, I wouldn't even go with that part because the beautiful thing about it is, and I'll say beautiful, is she never really got the chance to. And again, it kind of ties back to her vision of the House of Undying back in season 2. Because right when she sees the throne, I think she turns around, or she also sees the gates of the wall where she walks through, and she goes pretty much into the afterlife where she sees Khal Drogo, and then her little baby that she would have had with Khal Drogo. So it was like the symbolism of it is that you have your throne. It's almost like if you were thinking of it back in season 2, it's like you're gonna get your throne. You won today. It's gonna be the throne is gonna be destroyed, but there's your throne right there. But before you can do anything with it, you're gonna die. So, and it's pretty much how it played out a little bit.
Another thing I noticed is I don't think Cersei ever officially sat on the Iron Throne.
Yeah, she did. Whenever she got coronated. Yeah, whenever she got coronated. Because I remember Jamie came back and he was looking at her at the end.
I thought she was already stood up at the point, and we didn't see her actually sit on it. But
no, yeah, she sat down and she was sitting down when she looked at Jamie.
Jamie,
I always remember that. That's when I thought Jamie was like, I'm done with this hoe. But okay, we know he did it. So okay.
All right. So you want to go ahead and get to it? Rip the Band-Aid off?
About which part? Because I mean, there was a lot. There's still a lot of great moments.
Actually, let's get to. I believe after this we do kind of a time jump, don't we?
Yeah, we kind of jumped I think a couple weeks into the future, and we have like the whole. I called it the Council of Westeros.
That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah, because I know there was a couple of, I think the people's hands or something. I'm not sure what they call like young boys and stuff like that, but it was cool seeing Homeboy back again. Robin Aaron, like that kid has grown. Like from the first time we saw him in his mama's lap and like drinking breast milk at too big of an age.
Oh,
but yeah,
that was him.
Yeah, that was him. I know.
Wow.
I know he. I mean,
That's
he
the
is
same feeling I have like from seeing spoilers, seeing Harley from Iron Man 3, all grown up at the end of Endgame.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, young Harley. And it was cool seeing Robin Aaron there. Edmure Tully was there, which that guy has got shit on for his whole life. They had Sam was one of them. Arya was up there. Sansa, Gendry, the Lord of the Stormlands, Davos, who was just up there. It was nice to see.
Davos is amazing.
Yeah, it was nice to see Yara back for one point, even though it was. I kind of wondered about this scene, like, why did you agree with this? But I'm not gonna nitpick on that, like, because. Go ahead.
No, I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just like it was basically them bringing like it was this whole Council of Westeros lords and stuff, and it was not a trial, but Grey Worm brought Tyrion up there, so I wasn't sure if I don't think he was trying to find a punishment for Tyrion, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
right? And so he wanted to see what all these people felt like they should do about Tyrion and Jon, and I forgot how it started because Grey Worm told him to stop talking, but he did stop talking, and they were trying to think of ideas of what to do.
We had Sansa asking Grey Worm where Jon was, and he says he is our prisoner.
Mm-hmm.
And then I believe she said something like not anymore, go get him or something like that, and then Grey Worm says that's not how this works.
Yeah, there were a lot of great moments right here. A lot, again, character moments, because there was a moment where Yara was talking about like, he needs to be punished. I promise to fight for Daenerys, and not for anybody else. I promise to serve for Dany and not for anybody else. What he did was treason. I think it was Arya that said to her. If not to her, it was to somebody else. Like, if you don't stop talking, I'll slit your throat or something like that.
But she said, if you don't stop talking about the death of my brother, I will slit your throat.
Yeah.
And at that moment, I turned to my brother and I said, and you think she's joking?
Nah.
She is not joking.
Arya is not one to be fucked with. Like, don't do it. Like, not at all.
Such a badass line, man.
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was. And it's funny because they're trying to think what to do with Jon and
Bran was there also.
Oh yeah, Bran. Yeah, yes. Can't forget Lord Bran of House Stark, or the Three-Eyed Raven. Bran was there, but
from your tone, we are gonna have different point of views.
It's gonna be funny, but anyway, one thing I wanted to point out also was that Sam tried to propose democracy to people, and everybody just laughed at him. I loved how I felt like that was a dig at us, like at the fans that said that we should have a democracy. Everybody just laughed at him.
Is you hear someone say, "Yeah, let's give my dog a vote."
Yeah, right. They're like, "Come on, guys, like let's give our dog a vote." Which it was nice, but then it was technically Tyrion that decided what to do with everything, and it was Tyrion that proposed that we have a new king based off of what the stories of this king is.
I love this setup, by the way.
It was a great setup. It was a great setup because until he said the name, I did not.
Go ahead.
I did not really understand who he was talking about until he basically gave away like all the titles and stuff, and gave away the story of our new king. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, and like the way he set it up, he was like, what connects us? It's not war. It's not armies. It's stories. Stories don't lie. Or no, he said stories connect us. We learn stuff every day from stories. And he's like, who here has had the best story?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes down. And I agree with this decision. I don't know if you do. I'll explain why I do anyway.
Uh-huh.
But so yeah, if you guys seen it, you guys know it is Bran. Bran is the king of the 6 kingdoms now.
Mm-hmm.
And let me get your point of view first. Did you like this or hate this?
I did hate it. I thought it was funny. I'm like, wow. Wow. And I'll tell you why I say this was funny. Why I thought it was funny. Because maybe it's just the way I think. I personally think Bran has been planning this shit from the beginning. I think he knew what this was gonna happen. I think because there was a scene in, I think it was episode 4 this season, where Tyrion and Bran were like by the fire, like during the Great Feast. And yes, we saw what they were talking about for a little bit, but I have a feeling that maybe Bran was telling him some stuff like what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks or something. Or I feel like Bran was setting this up like to begin with. And again, I don't hate the decision at all. Some people are like, oh my God, why Bran? Again, I think Bran has known this all along. I mean, he's been the 3-eyed raven. He even says, hell, why the hell you think I came down here? He's like, I know you don't.
I love that line. And for a slight moment, you see a smirk.
Exactly. And that's my thing. I feel like Bran has.
Like, why'd you think I'd come all this way?
I'm like, you knew this. I'm like literally, every moment where he was talking, where it made me look at Bran in a whole different way. Like every moment where we all thought that Bran was just like, why the hell is Bran just staring up into the distance?
This makes me want to rewatch the show from Bran's perspective.
It does, because like I feel like Bran just being now instead of like I think people were thinking that Bran just stupid. Like, why Bran just doing this? I think Bran was feeling holy.
Bran knew the entire time what was going to happen.
He's like, listen, you will address me as your king. You will not address me as just Bran. Kiss my finger or something. Like, I'm your king. I'm your future king. Just wait for me. I don't know. I thought it was funny. I really did.
Let me explain why I love this decision.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you guys know me. I am not a huge fan of Bran. The actor's great. The stuff they had him do in the past seasons kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but it all makes sense. As Tyrion said, who's the only one who's not going to let the power corrupt him? Someone who knows all. Someone who knows, hey, if we do this, this happens. If we do this, this will stop this. Instead of being reactionary like Dany was and kill everybody, or Joffrey, or Cersei to a point, where most of these kings and queens were reactionary. They're going to do stuff to protect them, not the people.
Mm-hmm.
Bran doesn't want the power. Bran doesn't need the power. He's a 3-eyed raven. He sees all. But I love this because he's not going to let the power corrupt his mind. So we don't have to worry about another Mad Bran or anything like that. No. 2, he will know the right situations and how they will work out both ways. He will know, oh, if we attack this person and kill this person, this will happen. And we will have a war on our hands. But if we take the peaceful route, then we could work with these people. Bran is someone who can really sit down and talk with people and be very, very convincing in his way of speech. Instead of screaming and yelling and like what a king would do, he would talk to them. He would sit down and talk. And that's what we see a little bit later. I think it's perfect because we now have a king that's going to bring peace to all the 7 kingdoms. And yes, seven kingdoms because, yes, it's going to be independent, but Bran's still going to look out for Winterfell. That's his home. That's his family. He's going to make sure that nothing happens to them. He's going to make sure that nothing happens to the Seven Kingdoms as a whole. I think this is a very smart strategy, and they set it up from season 1. When he got pushed down to where he is now, that's one of the greatest story arcs. From the man who thought he couldn't walk to the man who flew. Now he's a king. That is progression. And that's what Bran as king means, is we'll have an era of peace. We'll have an era where there are no wars. Innocent people aren't going to die for it. And we can finally get the Seven Kingdoms back to where it was in season 1 when a Stark had a bit of power, when Ned Stark was the hand of the king. And things were peaceful. And let's talk about his hand, because this is another part that I want to bring up. Who did he choose as his hand? Tyrion
Lannister.
A Lannister, the youngest Lannister, being the hand of the youngest Stark.
Is Bran younger than Arya? Okay.
Yes, by a few years, by I think a year or 2.
Really? I didn't know he was that much younger than Arya.
Maybe. I think because both of them called Bran younger brother.
Or maybe so. Yeah, both her and Sansa.
Yeah, but all right. Even if he's not the youngest of the Starks, he's the youngest Stark boy.
Yeah, that's true.
So the youngest Stark boy teaming with the youngest Lannister. Now go back to season 1. What do we have? 2 friends. Robert Baratheon, who is part of the Lannister family, as king. Who was his hand? His best friend, Ned Stark. We had years, an era of peace at that time. And now it ends with a Stark and a Lannister bringing peace.
Yeah. That's true. Like I would say there's peace for now, because again, we don't know what's gonna happen in the future, and but it was nice to see Tyrion be hand. I definitely felt excuse me. I definitely felt like I wanted
crucified in the comments. Bring it on. I think I explained myself well.
Hey, you know what? It's your opinion, so like nobody can say that your opinion is incorrect. But,
have you been in comment sections before? That's all that's in there.
I don't pay too much attention to that, but like I was about to say Arya, but like Tyrion, I definitely think has the right position to, because I think Tyrion was best when he was the hand in King's Landing. When he was Dany's hand, not the best.
I never saw Tyrion as king. I always see
no,
him
no,
advisors. He's smart enough and cunning enough to work alongside a king, or not to be the king or the king himself.
And while personally, I will like Sansa to have been queen. Technically, she did become queen of the North, so
queen
I was fine with that. As far as Bran being the king, I think the one thing I will back up with what you said is that having Bran as king removes all hubris from it, because like he's not gonna feel what's wrong with attacked or disrespected, because I mean hell, they call him Bran the Broken. Like, he's not taking that as
he's not gonna be a king that let his emotions get to him like a Joffrey or Cersei.
As that, or like anybody probably would. So like, I mean, hell, Robert literally went to war because Rhaegar Targaryen stole
that's another reason why
betrothed.
That's another reason why I think Sansa, as much as I love her, I don't think she's ready to be queen yet. Because again, we've seen she's calmed down, but she is too emotional when it comes to family, and that could be one that they attack. Like Bran loves his family, but Bran's not going to get emotionally attached like Sansa would
Yeah,
if
and
she were truly queen.
I definitely agree. That's why it's best that to me, I was I was sufficient with this mainly because also John didn't deserve to be king
Yeah.
at all. Like there's nothing that John has done in his years for me that I if in a happy world, like if you would ask me before the season started, I would have liked to see Danny and John as king and queen. And yes, the whole they just shrugged the whole auntie lover thing like off and like ha 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 ha, we're Targaryens, we can do that. But there's been so much there's been such a change of both of those characters throughout the season. Like there was no way that could happen. And things that John has done this season, like John, you are not king. John deserves to be exactly where he is right now.
Yeah, the Night's Watch. Which again, I love the line. I believe it's Bran. No, it's Tyrion. It's when Tyrion is telling Jon that you're going to the Night's Watch. He's like, the Night's Watch is still a thing.
Yeah, and right.
Tyrion has this line that I love. He says, there has to be a place for the bastards, for the broken, and for the lost.
Yeah. Yeah. Bastards broken.
Place that Jon needs to be, I don't know what is.
And then it was like talking about I think he was like, "Will I ever see you again?" or something like that. He's like, "You never know. Never know when I might
off the wall."
Yeah, piss off the edge of the wall again, which is again a throwback to season 1 of this year of this series. So
I thought it was season 2, but I could be wrong.
No, it was like when Tyrion first went to go to the wall.
That's right.
Yeah, basically escorted them to the wall right before he got captured by Catelyn.
Yeah.
And, that was just amazing. That again, another great character moment. And for Jon
to go ahead.
No, I mean for Jon to be going to the wall, this ended exactly how I wanted to be. Like I knew what was going to happen when he got there. But what were you gonna say?
I said I love how the story started with the Starks. It started with Ned. Like that's the first scene we see in the Game of Thrones is Ned Stark. Because he's doing the beheading scene.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was after that. He's the first Stark we see. Yeah,
he's the first like main character we see of the show.
Well, yeah. I'm trying to think because I know that we saw the whole scene of like the Night's Watch and then the White Walkers killing that ranger.
Yeah, those are sideline characters. I'm talking about like the first main character we see.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'm just being way too literal now because I'm trying to think of because I know it was down whenever Bran was trying to shoot the arrow and stuff, and he was shooting.
I thought that was after the beheaded scene.
No, because Ned didn't get the news. He got the news after Arya shot the arrow. Yeah, after Arya had shot the arrow and did her little curtsy and stuff and ran away. And then I love that scene, but then that's when Ned got the news from I forgot his name, Sir Roderick or something. And he got the news about the beheading. But
okay, well, I was wrong, but it's
Stark family. Hell, technically, the first major character you see is Bran.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but I love how the show started with the Stark family and their wars against the Lannisters, and now cut to season 8. It ends with the Starks in power, with a Lannister by their side. I love that huge progression.
That's great character. The best Lannister, first of all, and then just some great character progression overall.
Yep. So see, I'm not as mad as people are about Bran being king, and I think I laid out why I love it so much in a clear to understand way. That way people can understand where I'm coming from. But again, I could just be talking out my ass.
Well, I mean, you're not talking again. You're not. It's your opinion. Like again, I think Bran is fine as being. I think they made the fine choice. I mean, hell, everybody agreed for in the beginning. Technically, nobody else that was up there deserved to rule, to have the power of king. I personally, I was one of the ones that kind of wanted a democracy. But the best part about it was also that Bran can't have children and stuff. Because Sansa brought that up.
I love that
That,
line.
that was a whole ass line too. By the way, like you don't gotta tell everybody my business.
No, no,
I
no.
can't have
I love
children.
what Tyrion says. He's like, good.
Exactly, and that means after Bran's reign is over, they're gonna come back and choose. So I kind of feel like I'm
We all got the democracy we were looking for.
in a way, yeah. It's like they come together to choose a king.
Because even Tyrion said he was like done with the legacy kings.
Yeah, like the lineage, like there will be no lineage keys and stuff like that. So like
Yeah.
that's perfect. That was perfect.
This was the best of both worlds because, in
Yeah.
my opinion, we got a good king, and we now have a democracy in Westeros, where all of these seven, like the major players of the seven houses, get together and choose a king.
Mhm. And it was interesting because it was Dorne. It was cool seeing somebody from Dorne there, the Stormlands, the Riverlands. I forget what they call 'em, like the Vale, pretty much. Um, I guess the Riverlands are the Riverlands also count for the twins also, and then the South and then we can't forget what Brown wasn't there at that moment there, not at that moment, but he came later, which again was a hilarious scene to me. Like the whole whenever they got their small council together, like even though that was a little bit later in the episode, because I think right after this is when um after they declare Bran the king of the six kingdoms, they declare Bran the broken. That's when we had that scene where Jon and Tyrion had their goodbye scene,
And then we have the scene where Tyrion is getting ready for the meeting, and who's the first man you see walk in? Bronn.
Exactly. I was glad to see. I was glad to see Bron back. Like and he pretty much got what he wanted.
Up.
Yeah, but one other thing I wanted to say before we got to the meeting was that it was nice to see Jon say goodbye to his family because he said goodbye to Sansa. He said goodbye to Arya and
Arya got me, dude. I teared up, man. When he was like, "Do you have needle?" She goes, "Always."
Yeah, yeah. Their relationship has always been one of the most powerful relationships. Like, and that was really my favorite part of them seeing one of this season. Also, one of my favorite parts, them being reunited after 7 seasons.
Yeah,
and
not Arya runs and gives him a hug, like she used to do in season 1 when she saw him again.
Exactly, and like Arya tells us in this moment also that she's not planning to go back to Winterfell, but she's planning on going west to Westeros and seeing what's out there.
I heard a fucking dumb rumor.
Don't you say it. I know where you're going. Don't you do it.
That Arya is going to discover the Americas.
Nope. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
I heard that too. Like, they better not do that. But if she discovers a whole new land, cool. But don't you dare name that America. I would love to see. I would technically love to see a spinoff with Maisie Williams.
I would too. See like her own solo adventures.
Exactly. The solo adventures of Arya Stark.
That would be amazing.
And we basically find out at the end of it that
Jon goes back to the wall, right?
Huh?
I said we're at the part where Jon goes back to the wall, right?
Well, pretty much because they were kind of doing some hopping back and forth here because after this after saying bye to his family he set sail, but then that's when we went to go. We had the scene where Brienne was filling in all of Jamie's like highlights in like that book of
such a good scene too.
Yeah, Book of the Knights and stuff. And I remember we had Selma in one of the earlier seasons, and it was just I guess she was filling out Jamie's accomplishments and everything that he's done.
When you really look at it, he's done so much good.
Yeah, and she even wrote it down. She was writing it down. I remember the last thing she wrote down, I think, was saying like he died in service of his queen, or died protecting his queen. Like, oh, that's true. That's very true. And then I think right after that, that's when we went to the small council chamber. We had Bronn, who's now the Lord was he the Lord of the Reach or no, the Lord of Highgarden?
Highgarden.
Highgarden, and he's the Master of Coin. And then Sam is the new Grandmaster.
Which I love that. I love Sam in general. Sam as a Grandmaster is amazing.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense to me. Like Davos is the Master of Ships.
Of course.
Which is Brienne is I think Brienne was Captain of the Kingsguard, if I'm not correct.
Yes.
And then my favorite part was that my boy Pie was a knight. I'm like, yes. Yeah. He's called Sir Pie. I'm like, you go, Pie. After all the killing, everything he's done, like, to see him, I remember when Pie was a little goofy squatty, like, and stuff. And now to being a knight, he saved Tyrion's life, by the way. So I'm glad to see Pie get props that he deserves. But like, this was very good. Everything in this scene was again another character moment. Like we saw Tyrion like straightening up the chairs in the beginning, only for everybody to come in and mess them all up. He's like, that doesn't, forget that. But
which a lot of people had problems with that. Like they were doing that on purpose just to like kill time. But I didn't see it like that.
No, like I thought about it at first, but then whenever everybody came in and whenever he tried to interject that, I'm like, okay, I get it. He takes it personal. I understand. I can respect that, and it was just so many good moments. But again, he said like when he was telling Bronn like, "You're now Lord of Highgarden and Master of Coin. Does that mean our debt is paid?" Like, yeah, fine, I'm cool. Like, so that debt is good. And then also there was a scene between whenever Bronn was talking about needing some more coin. Like they were like talking about trying. I think Davos was talking about getting ships, but Bronn was talking about brothels and stuff.
Yes, I love this. Like he was like, the Master of Coin would love to pay a huge debt to get the brothels back.
Yeah, I'm like, Bronn.
And then Davos comes in with, I think it's Davos where he's like, no, it's Sam that's like, the Grand High Master said that those, he said those weren't like safe places to have or clean places to have. And he goes, well, then the Sir Maester wasn't using it correctly.
But there was a funny moment wherever between Davos and Bronn, wherever Davos did it again, he pulled the old standards and he corrected Bronn's grammar. And he's like, "Oh, so were you the master of grammar now too?" And I'm like, it was just such a nice dig, and I think just a nice little pat on the back for all of every fan that had been watching that knows Davos' journey and stuff. Because
Davos slowly became one of my favorite characters.
Oh yeah, definitely one of my favorite characters. Like Liam Cunningham was great, like awesome.
I believe he was on Collider Live at one point.
Yes, sir. He was there last week. Wait, not last week. 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah, 2 weeks ago Friday. I definitely watched the episode. He's the man.
But I do want to bring up this one last thing before we go into our ranking and the crown segments. I love the acknowledgement of the books when he brings in the books and shows Tyrion, and he's like, "What's this called? A Song of Fire and Ice." And I was like, "That is incredible."
You know what? I saw it coming because personally I thought Sam was gonna be the one that was gonna write the whole book like from the beginning, but I guess he kind of co-authored it with one of the old maesters. But then I heard something today that said that Return of the King did the same thing in a way with Frodo finishing Bilbo's book like The Lord of the Rings. Like really, like come on guys. But then again, it's nothing that I had a major problem with. I'm like, oh, okay, so it's not really an original idea. Like, okay.
I mean, is anything original anymore though?
No, that's true.
We can always find stuff to nitpick about that was from another movie or another TV show or whatever.
Yeah, I mean that's true. That's true.
Even George R. R. Martin said he was inspired by Tolkien.
Yeah, and I mean, and you can definitely see a lot of the similarities. Again, Battle of Winterfell,
maybe it's just me being a Return of the King fan, but did it feel like this had like 5 endings?
Well, I mean, you had your endings for like multiple characters, I think. So because like this was our ending. The small council chamber was our ending for Tyrion and Bran. Well,
Yeah.
actually, Bran technically had went to go find Drogon, quote unquote. And so this was the end of our King's Landing chapter.
So we were correct. Bran can control the dragons through.
Well, we don't necessarily know if he was going to go find Drogon by working the dragon, or if he was going to just go like find the bird to find
Yeah.
Drogon. So it was kind of an open-ended thing, so we weren't sure about that. But you know, like it's very possible he can control Drogon, but that was pretty much his ending. And then we got our ending of our three of our major Stark characters in the way, because we see Arya, which again I love seeing Arya like have her own ship. She's like Captain Arya Sparrow.
It's so weird to say that I like grew up with two of my favorite characters. I grew up with Harry Potter. Like I grew up with the actors themselves, and then I kind of grew up with Arya Stark as well.
That's true.
Because I was young. Like I was like, I want to say 15. So like mid high school.
Yeah.
When Game of Thrones came out. So to see like young Arya Stark and just kind of like progressing to where she is now. And now I'm in my 20s. Oh God, I'm old.
I'm 31. Shut up. Shut up. Don't you dare say you're old.
But just it's amazing to see like that I was able to grow with so many of my favorite characters, like literary characters, like Arya Stark, Harry Potter, that I feel a more like I feel like Arya is my little sister.
I can see that.
What we brought up in one episode.
Yep, we don't need to talk about it. I don't need those memories. Nope. I forgot about it. I put it in the back of my mind. I don't need to see my little sister doing that anymore. Thank you. I'm fine with it. I'm not telling that, I don't think my sister has a bit butt. No, did you not? I won't talk. Yeah,
I've seen that.
I don't think my sister has a bit booty. No, none of that. So I'm fine with that.
I mean, Macy Williams though.
Yeah, Macy Williams different. Sir.
Very.
Arya Stark though. That's my little girl. I see Arya Stark. I know her. No, since she was a little girl, not wanting to be a lady. That's not me. But
on to Sansa. I love how they call Jon King of the North, but now they chant Queen of the North.
Yeah, for Sansa. The North are very fickle people, by the way. They choose a lot. They choose a lot of kings and queens. But I'm glad Sansa deserves it. Like she really deserves to be queen in the North. And I mean that there could not have been a better ending for that myself. And again, when it came to Jon, I loved when Jon got to the Night's Watch. And this is all just to appease Grey Worm, I think, because right there, who's waiting for him? Good old Giant's Bane. Yeah, and then technically, I think they even made Jon Lord Commander again, didn't he? Yeah, so like, okay, great. Jon's going back to what he used to do. And the thing is, he could probably trust these people a lot more than he could Alistair Thorne and stuff like that. Exactly. So
all of the Stark children, and I count Jon as a Stark child. Because if you really look at it,
he is a Stark child.
That's what he is. And they all are in power. You have Sansa in the North. You have Jon at the Wall. You have Bran as the actual king of the Seven Kingdoms. The only one that's not is Arya, and that works so well.
And technically, she's a captain also. So technically, she rules her ship.
And she fucking killed the Night King.
Exactly. Nobody's gonna screw with her.
No one's gonna fuck with her.
Exactly. I loved how basically once we have all the goodbye moments, like we see Arya setting sail with Stark banners, and then we saw Sansa being coordinated as queen, and then we see Jon leading a party of wildlings going back north of the Wall, which is great because technically again, I believe John belongs north of the wall, and I think Matt Rader even said as much. Matt and Termine said as much earlier. And then,
How are we forgetting Ghost?
oh yes,
Ghost.
he finally had his little ghost moment, and so everybody that was pissed off about him not paying
Oh,
ghost.
dude,
Yeah,
that scene was so good too. When Ghost just like comes up to him with his red eyes.
yeah, and his right ear was gone, but
Yeah,
it was nice to see him and Ghost have a good moment together, and they all went out into the north. And was there a moment? Did you see it? Like was like the spring about to sprung?
yeah, yeah. Because
Okay,
out of the snow, you saw the grass turn green.
okay. So that means the world is changing, and again, the north is now wide open for them. Like they don't need to be part of the Seven Kingdoms. Like they have this big wide kingdom for themselves, and now there's no Night King or Wildly or White Walkers to be afraid of. So
What do
the
you
world
think of?
technically to me is their oyster.
What did I say? I completely forgot about. I blanked on what I was about to say.
What did I think about what? You're asking me about opinion about something.
Yeah, yeah.
I, but I would love to see what happens to Joy and like I personally think they would come up that they can possibly can create a kingdom of some type out there in the north. Maybe not necessarily a kingdom, but like a couple of castles or a couple of keeps or
Would you
something.
like to
So
see
everybody can
another
live.
show of John and the Wildlings? Like,
No, I don't. I don't want another show. I don't want a full show. I just would like maybe a couple of updates from here and there. Like if somebody, if we have another spinoff of somebody else in Kingsland, I wouldn't mind a small council show. But we just had a couple updates of John or what's going on with the Wildlings.
see, I know people don't want to see this, but I want a Mad King prequel.
That would be interesting. Like, I don't understand why people won't want to see it.
We only got to see one part of that
Mm-hmm.
king. So if you had like an entire series arc, like his reign from where he began,
Mm-hmm.
like the beginning of his reign, people trying to take him out, and then the wars between the Targaryens and the Starks, or I'm sorry, the Targaryens and the Lannister war,
Yeah.
and then end with Jaime killing him right into the very first episode of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like that would be interesting.
That would be interesting. I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind the Mad King prequel, or people just anything about Targaryens. Like even though it would be interesting to see if they would be willing to spend a lot of money on dragons. But then again, I think at a certain point, the dragons were no bigger than house cats. I think they said so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's no biggie.
All right. So, are you ready to get to our next segment before we have
Yes,
to head
sir.
off?
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. So now that the series has ended with a tear in my eye,
Mm-hmm.
oh, dude, I'm legit upset. I want more.
I would like another season myself, but or another season or more episodes.
Overall, before we move on to ranking, how about we rate this season out of like 4 stars?
4 stars. Ooh. Now this makes me wonder because now where I had this in my rankings, it might depend on other people's stars. All right, 4 stars. Ooh, I like the season a lot. I do. If I'm looking at where my Jesus Christ, that was getting hard. I'll probably give it. If I'm going 4 stars, I would give it 4 stars. 3 or 2.5. One. I probably give it maybe about 2.5. And that's not bad. It's not bad, but it's not bad thing at all. Bad would be in my case would be 1. And I'll tell you right now, no season of Game of Thrones gets to 1 star or a half star. But like this would probably be if it's 4 stars, it would be 2.5. It'd be 2.5. If it was 5 stars, it would be a 3.5. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna give this. Actually, I'm gonna give it a 3
Mhm.
because I really enjoyed this final season. Yes, the pacing issues, but we knew that coming in.
Yeah,
That's no
you knew
surprise.
that there were only going to be a short amount of episodes. So
And technically speaking, I count season 7 and 8 as one season.
I can see that
That
being a
really makes it like what 12, 13 episodes.
13 episodes. Yeah, because last season was 7 episodes.
7 and 6, yeah.
Mhm.
So I count season 7 and 8 as one continuous one, but for our ranking, we're counting it as two separate. But
Mhm.
overall, like I'm I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 4.
Okay,
Um, the Battle of Winterfell was incredible.
it really was.
Um, you had breakout performances from guys like Tormund, which
Wait, Termon, right? Termon.
Tormund. I'm saying that
Okay, I
right.
think you said Tom. I think you said Tommy at first. I'm like, wait,
No, not Tormund.
yeah,
Tormund.
Mr. Me. I got you.
Brienne and Jamie, their stuff was incredible. Um, the Stark family, the finale. I love the finale. I
Mhm.
think the finale itself was amazing. Great wrap up, great conclusion. So yeah, overall, I give it 3 out of 4. So now let's get to our ranking. Now to make this go kind of faster, let's do our bottom 4 and then our top 3.
So we're gonna leave one just out there in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay. So Bob,
So
for
yeah, we're gonna go 8 to 4. Hold on. 4 or to 5. And then we're gonna do 4, 3, 2, and then leave 1 for the finals.
okay. We're skipping. Oh, okay. We'll get it. Eight through 5, then 4 through 2, and then 1.
Yes.
Okay, cool. You want me to start? Or you want to go first?
Yeah, you can start.
Again, this was a very hard decision. Trust me, it came down to the very beginning of this episode. And despite great moments of this season, especially one of my favorite moments of this show happened this season. Period. But for me, my least favorite season, which again would maybe be a 2-star, 3-star season, maybe probably about 2-star, 2.5-star, one way or another. It would be season 4 of Game of Thrones. Like there were a lot of good things that happened in this season. Hell, the trial was amazing. Was an amazing episode. Also, it was an amazing episode. Joffrey dying was just highlight of my life. But there were some moments that I didn't necessarily need. If I'm not mistaken, this is the season where John wasn't king. He had become Lord Commander yet, but he basically just got back to Castle Black and stuff. Was because they had him and the Wildlings had scaled the wall. He already betrayed the Wildlings, and it was okay. After kind of, I felt like season 3 was a dynamic season, and then this season kind of made it a little bit calmer. And yes, we did have such a great episode with the wall episode, which was amazing, and it had a good season finale. But this would definitely be my least favorite season. It was definitely hard to top between this season and then my number 7 season. Also, it's hard to switch between those two.
Yeah. All right, your number 7.
Number 7 will be season after we saw our dear friend Ned get beheaded. That'd be season 2. Mainly because the whole Rob's military campaign. Okay, best parts didn't really care about. I would say that's my fault because again, as I said before on other shows, the first episode of Game of Thrones I've ever watched was the Red episode, the Red Wedding episode. So I kind of knew where this was going anyway in regards to Rob leading a military campaign against the Lannisters. No, again, it has its great moments like Jamie being captured by the Starks, but okay. This is also scene where season where Rob screwed up majorly. But some of my favorite parts of this season was Tyrion being handed the king in this season. Great, great moments with Tyrion, King's Landing. Sansa wasn't a big fan of Sansa at this moment, but my girl Arya, she had escaped, and this was kind of when she was on her own a little bit. Well, for a while, where she was being led to the wall by that guy, that Night's Watchman, Yoren, before he got killed. And then she became a prisoner of Harrenhal, which it was a great scene where great scenes between her and Charles Dance, like whenever she was portraying to be a boy. However, he knew that this is a girl, you idiot. Like great moments. Again, great character moments. And then again, we saw Jaqen H'ghar in this season. This is the first season of Jaqen H'ghar. But there's not a lot of bad things about this season. There's not a lot of bad things about this series, period. But this is definitely probably my number 7 season.
Number 6.
Number 6. Number 6 would be the season that we just ended this year, which would be season 8. Again,
oh, wow.
Love season 8. And it'll be funny when you hear my this is my number 6. It'll be fun when you hear my number 5 season. Season 8. Again, we had a lot of character moments, great character moments. Episode 2 was one of my favorite episodes this year. Being led over into episode 3 with the Battle of Winterfell, one of my favorite battles of the season of the series. Period. And then we had a great series finale last night. It's almost just about basically this is number 6 because I like other moments in other seasons more. And I'll just leave that to say that my number 5 season was actually season 7. So kind of going to how you said season 7, 8 is kind of one long season for you. I can definitely agree with that because I can definitely see how it makes a little bit more sense like that. But I felt last season was a lot of great moments between Dany and Jon. And this was before Dany and Jon were in love. This was King of the North meeting the Queen, who we were still all rooting for, and who we believed to be a good person, and she was going to be a gracious and rightful ruler. And great moments between those two. Great moments from yes, even though Tyrion was screwing up a lot. Great moments with military strategy. We saw the death of Olenna Tyrell last year, and she had such an epic mic drop. Yo, tell your sister, I killed your boy. That was nobody else. That was me. Make sure she knows I did that. Yes, we got more of Euron in season 7, but again, he's so forgettable to me. But season 7 was a great season, and I know a lot of people caught flat. Some people didn't like that one either, but the Frozen Lake was an awesome scene to me. All the people that met up with each other. We had our hunting party of the Hound, Beric, Jon, Tormund, Jorah. It was I think they said it was like the Magnificent Seven going out there beyond the wall. It was pretty cool seeing a lot of these characters that we know from other parts of our world coming together and crossing over pretty much. And then who can forget about the loot train attack? Like when we see just how much damage, we know the kind of damage that Drogon can do, but when we see the Dothraki in combat, the massacre of the loot train, it was amazing. That a lot of the great scenes, great episodes from last year, and even though some of them were shorter episodes, but we had the moment where we were kind of just convinced with Jon. We knew it already, but when Jon was painting Drogon, and we could see this, we could feel the familial connection between them, and then also when we learned the truth, when Sam learned the truth last year, even before Jon was screwing his aunt at the same moment. But season 7 was a great season, and it runs almost concurrently into 8 for me, even though we had a 2-year gap for it. But season 7 was great. What about your bottom 4?
Was that your number 5?
Yeah, that was my number 5.
All right, going on to me. Mm-hmm. My number 8. Now, remember, I love all of these.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know, right?
My number 8 is season 2.
Okay. Okay.
And for me, it's because I don't know, because as you said, the stuff with Rob's army, like it went on a little too long for me.
Mhm.
And there were great moments in season 2, but overall it felt like it kind of dragged on for the 10 episodes, in my opinion.
I can agree with that.
So overall, yeah, I love. There are great moments in season 2, but to me, that's my number 8. My number 7 is actually season 5,
Mhm.
and let me see. Yeah, season 5. That's the one with the Sand Snakes and Dorn and time to make the jokes. But no, this was a good season. The Dorn stuff did drag on a lot with Daenerys, and her just being stuck in one place for so long kind of drug out a lot for me.
Mhm.
But you also had a lot of great scenes, a lot of great moments. Um, like this was the first time that I believe this is the first season where we see Tyrion and Dany together. Mike, correct?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was great, great interaction between these two. We got the Grey Worm and Missandei furthering their relationship, which was great. But season 5 just kind of like with season 2, it drug on, especially with Dany's rise and stop at Dorne. That it kind of just like it halted the momentum for me. Coming off of a great season 4. My number 6 is actually season 7,
Mhm.
which everything you just said and more. There were great moments in season 7. The ice zombies kept walking on the frozen ice. The destruction of I'm sorry, what was it called?
The loot train. I think they just called it the loot train, but yeah, the train whenever they were coming from High Garden.
The Dragon Massacre is what I'm going to
Yeah,
call
pretty much.
it. Was a great battle scene. Um, just again, with them only having 7 episodes, it did feel rushed, especially when we were so used to taking episodes
Yeah.
for someone to get there, to get to a place, and now it just feels like kind of like a few minutes.
Gendry from the lake to the wall. Yeah.
Yeah, in like 2.5 seconds.
Yeah. Right. So true.
But overall, season 7 has some great moments. That's why it's number 6. It's not very bottom for me. And my number 5 is season 6.
Okay.
So that's coming off of the death of Jon Snow. That's kind of the problem I had with this was how fast they brought him back. I mean, we all knew he was coming back.
Mhm.
I would like to see how the Night's Watch would have dealt with them killing their own for a few episodes and then Jon comes back. So that was the problem I had because it felt like it was way too fast. It was the first like 15 for what 15 minutes of the show.
Actually he came back. In the last couple minutes of episode 2, and then episode 3 was pretty much all about his resurrection in a way, some way.
Yeah.
Hey.
But again, great moments like Battle of the Bastards is my favorite battle of all time. But also, this is the point where I felt like they went a little too far with Ramsay's character, especially the rape of.
Wait, did that happen this season? That did
Yeah.
happen season.
Did it happen this season?
I think 5. I think yeah, I think it was 5 because I think it was unbound, unbroken when him. Yeah, because remember, Sansa was already free in season 6.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
she was already free. But yeah, I mean, even though Sansa did get her revenge in this season.
Yeah, and I mean, Ramsay's death was a great one too.
Mm-hmm.
With him getting eaten by his own dogs, he didn't eat or he didn't feed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, season 6 was good, but the kind of jarringness of it coming from season 6, where we're used to, as before, people taking like a few episodes to getting to places. Now they get there in like less than a few minutes. Felt really jarring. All right, on to your
4 through 2. Okay. Number 4 for me, let me make sure I got this correct. Yeah. Number 4 for me would be season 3. And season 3, because again, while I wasn't the biggest fan of the finale for season 3, again, to me, season 3, episode 10 was mainly only for us realizing how was pretty much us feeling for Sansa and seeing that little bastard Joffrey, like the glee in his face after the Red Wedding, because he was so happy to deliver the news to Tyrion, because Sansa was Tyrion's wife at this point, and he had to give her the news about her family's death. However, she already knew, but just that made you feel for Sansa. But other things in this season though were so great though. We had the Red Wedding. Um, Oh my God. As I said, I will come back to it. Master Crassness. I hate that little bastard. And I loved how he was talking shit about Daenerys the whole time, but she understood every word that he said. So when she gave him Drogon, she knew what he was doing. She knew what he was saying, and she knew what she was doing. So it was just a great plot by Danny to trap this guy in, and like to basically to have him get killed by her dragon. She kills the dragons. She has Drogon kill the masters. She has the Unsullied free themselves, and she basically freed them. She freed them because she said, because as long as everybody has, as long as she has her little whip, she's now the master of them. But they decide to follow her willingly, and this was kind of like the great freedom tour of Danny, because she pretty much liberated a lot of Slaver's Bay. And yes, we got our old school Dario Naharis, which was okay, but we got Missandei out of the deal. We got Grey Worm, aka Jacob Anderson, aka Ralph Ritchie, out of the deal. So great episodes right here. Again, if I'm not mistaken, this was also the season where, first of all, Davos, and after a big loss to the Battle of Blackwater, him and Stannis were still trying to get themselves back together. But we also we had episodes where Gendry and Arya and the team were trying to, after escaping Harrenhal, they were trying to figure out what to do next. And we had to meet up with the Brotherhood Wild Banners. We got introduced to Beric, who was another Beric Dondarrion at this time. But like such great great character moments in the season. Like I really enjoy season 3 a lot. My number 3 season would actually be season 6. Kind of reiterating some of the things you said. The Battle of the Bastards, effing great episode. Like, period, great episode. Episode 1, whenever they found out about the treason and Davos and them, and like it's like the Night's Watch was literally about to come and kill Davos and everybody. But we had our great guys that had been freed by Jon. The Wildlings came back and basically took over Castle Black. And one of my favorite lines was when Alistair Storm said, "The Night's Watch has never been taken over or been raided by Wildlings." He said, "Huh, funny. Not until your watch, not until you've taken over, pretty much." So, which is pretty true. But that was just a great character moment. And yes, I do agree that Jon came back a little bit too quickly. I would like to see a couple more episodes with him dead, but I was okay with it. But you can't say season 6 without the Battle of the Bastards, Ramsay's death by dogs. Again, we saw Sansa and Brienne meet together again after such a after they kind of had a tense meeting the first time. It was nice to see Brienne being welcomed by Sansa, but also such an explosive ending, and I mean that pun intended because God damn, the Light of the Seven season 6 episode 10 maybe one of my favorite season finales ever because
Is
not
that
only did we
Orlov?
huh no that's this is the Winds of Winter where first of all we saw Dany and her crew coming to Westeros and like the whole set it was a great shot but like with the ships being sailing to Westeros but also this was the episode where Cersei said you know what I'm gonna kill everybody that I don't like. And this was the episode where
Oh, the
she blew up
the wildfire.
exactly the wildfire, and she blew up the Sept of Baelor, and like this is amazing. Like I
And
love this.
then Tommen.
And see, Tommen has given me probably the most used gift I've ever used on any platform, because thankfully somebody has made a gift of when Tommen jumps out the window and yet he flies away, which I use religiously nonstop. So like I love season
That's another
6.
reason why season 6 is kind of low on my list, is because Tommen literally did nothing.
No, he didn't know. He was useless. He was too kind and like, okay, you know, you weren't long for this world, my sweet summer child. So I was fine with it, but just a great the score of that the Light of the Seven, the score was effing amazing, and I loved it. And my number 2 season, and you can probably guess my number 1 actress, but my number 2 season is actually season number 1 because I mean this. Well, season 1 there is no Game of Thrones, and first of all, the way the first episode ended just caught me off guard. First of all, I'm like, what the hell am I? What the hell am I watching here? And then the intrigue of like the framing of now that we know it was Littlefinger that was framing Tyrion for it, but at that time you don't know Tyrion may be trying to have killed this kid, but did he actually try to do this, or like are the Lannisters really trying to kill the Starks? And then the whole investigation with Ned being King's Landing, we saw Syrio Forel, and like Ned's trying to conduct
Face
his
off
own
between Jamie and Ned.
exactly the face up between Jamie and Ned, and just like there was so many good moments, and it felt like this season was a mysterious season, and it ended for Ned to he showed his hand too quickly, and he instead of coming with proof, and yes, I was glad to have Mark Addy there as King Robert Baratheon, but
Yeah.
it
Fred Flintstone himself.
exactly, but it really did. This really set the game in motion when he died, and Cersei pretty much appointed Joffrey as the king, because after that, everything pretty much changed from there on.
It was all Joffrey's fault.
Exactly, and like and Baelish just fault because I did warn you not to trust me, and
Yeah.
that pretty much led to the death of Ned Stark, into like the hardening of Arya. That was what started her list and everything. So
Yeah.
I loved it. I love this season a lot, and season 1 is one of the greatest seasons of all time. I think in my book.
All right, going back to me.
Mm-hmm.
My number 4 is actually season 8.
Mm-hmm.
I love it more than most people do. I'll admit that. But you had everything that makes Game of Thrones amazing in one season. You had big battle scenes, which were incredible in scope and in character building moments. Battle of Winterfell, yes, it was this big battle, but you also had character moments in there. You had the Hound protecting Arya, wanting to fight for Arya. You had people dying and saving each other. Like, you had the great scene of Dany fighting to protect Jorah and Jorah fighting to protect Dany.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it wasn't just a big battle for a big battle. Then you had a lot of great scheming episodes. like a lot of great dialogue, a lot of great character interactions. Like one of my favorites is Jaime and Tyrion from last episode
That's true.
when he was like, again, my favorite line of the entire season was, "You were the only one that didn't look at me as a monster." Because that's what that was all about. That's why Tyrion loves Jaime so much, and why Jaime would do anything to protect his brother. Is because they have that brother love for each other. So not only did you have big battles, not only did you have the most amazing action scene of Lady Mormont taking out a fucking giant,
Very
but you
true.
have great character moments and a great finale that I absolutely love. So season 8 is my number 4. My number 3 is season 1. And that's because of what you said. It was the start. It was getting me into this world. I made a mistake of watching Jeremy Johns' reviews of the Game of Thrones seasons. So I knew the Red Wedding was coming. I knew Joffrey's death was coming. But once you get into the meat of it in season 1, you just fall into the characters. You fall into the dialogue, the scheming, the planning, this season was also the most grounded of all the seasons. Because like you didn't have dragons, you didn't have big battles. It was all about scheming. It was all about planning. It was all about great interactions, great characters, and great dialogue that went around with the characters. And that's what I really love. It's like a lot of people love Game of Thrones for the battles, and the battles are great. I love character interactions. I love the great dialogue and the scheming of Game of Thrones more than just the big battles. And my number 2 is season number 3. Because, well, one, you had the most heart-wrenching moment in Game of Thrones history, the Red Wedding. Rip half the Starks. But I love how season 2, Rob's arc was kind of getting tiresome.
Mm-hmm.
This one felt more tight. It was Joffrey's army versus Rob's army. And in this case, the Lannisters do send their regards. But this set up a whole bunch of stuff for the next seasons. Arya killing Walter Frey, just half the Starks being destroyed, and just the Stark children remaining pretty much. You also had just like really great, again, character development and character, like, what was I going to say? Like character, like growth throughout the character. Like Tyrion. Tyrion grew so much, and it started really in season 3. But then I believe that isn't season 3 also the season where we started Theon's punishment?
Yes, yes, yep. With snip, snip.
Like Theon was always a dick.
I see what you did there.
But this is the season where I started feeling bad for him, and then really started that arc for Theon.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, season 3 was so good, and it ended with one of the most brutal massacres I've ever seen in the Red Wedding.
Very true.
And pretty much we can guess each other's number ones.
Yeah. As for me, my number 1, you mentioned it already, but again, our favorite list. I love season 5 of Game of Thrones. Yes, I know this is the season where we have Dorne in it. I could Only good thing about Dorn was Tyene, which was one of the Sand Snakes. You know which one Tyene was, yeah. But then we also saw Jessica Henwick there, who will become Colleen Wing and Iron Fist. Which, yeah, okay. Thank you for introducing me to her. Everything else about Dorn is like erased from my mind. But and Marcella, rest in peace, Marcella. You didn't deserve it. But we had so many great moments. Like Tyrion first, he had escaped from King's Landing only to get kidnapped by Jorah to be brought to Queen Daenerys like as redemption for him. However, for Jorah didn't know that. Hey, I was already on my way to see Daenerys. Ha! Thanks for the free ride, and that's how I felt that was like just great. It was great moments between Jorah and Tyrion, especially the moment where Jorah found out he got grayscale, but also when he found out that his father had got killed by mutineers. That was such a sweet moment, and I think it was episode 6 of season 5, but episode 6 of season 5 was not the best episode because this was also Sansa's wedding night scene. But again, this that did help. Again, made Sansa. No, I'm not this. It helped with the redemption of Reek at that point because he was still Reek at that point. For Theon, I think that actually it made Theon snap out of it, which eventually he snapped out of it. But we had great moments where I think it was episode 9, a Dance of Dragons, where Danny is about to get killed by the Sons of the Harpy, and just when it looks like all hope is lost, Drogon comes screeching into the fighting pits. He takes out a lot of the Sons of the Harpies. Such a great moment. I even watched that moment to this day, and to see it's like Danny closes her eyes, and when she opens them, whenever she closes it, you hear that dragon screech, and see Drogon come back because he had been away for pretty much the whole season.
Mm-hmm.
Great moment. I'll go back as far as episode 1 of the season. One of my favorite moments of the entire show was when the wildlings had pretty much been defeated by Stannis' army, and Stannis was about to burn Mance Rayder at the stake. Only way he wouldn't burn him is if Mance Rayder would kneel before Stannis and declare him as king, but Mance did not want to do that. So when they put Mance up on the pyre and they were about to burn him, he was trying his best not to scream. He was doing his best not to scream.
And Jon shoots him.
That was such a beautiful moment for me because, like, even when I watch it to this day, because you see Mance is trying not to scream, but he's like, he's whimpering and he's trying not to give his dance satisfaction. And then when you see a big arrow come to his heart, he looks at the arrow, he looks at Jon. Everybody looks at Jon. It's almost like in his head, he's like, thank you, boy. Mm-hmm. And he dies. And like, it was a great mercy kill for me. Like, again, it was a great moment of respect between Jon and Mance Rayder for me. And who didn't realize, but these characters have met each other way back in season 2 also. But the creme de la creme of season 5, the cream of the crop, my favorite moment of all Game of Thrones, season 5, episode 8, Hardhome. Like, it's my favorite battle. And it's not, again, I talked about a couple episodes ago. The fear I felt when I watched Hardhome is just amazing. Knows no levels, and I love that episode. Probably my favorite episode of Game. It is my favorite Game of Thrones episode. Period. And like, I love that episode, and it just led to a lot that I love about this season. Also, don't forget, this is also the season where Cersei. We did have the High Sparrow and stuff in this season, but Cersei kind of got a little come up this where we actually start feeling bad for her a little bit.
Oh, like, the shame.
Yeah, the shame walk. So there's a lot to love about this season, and like I just love her home and just some of the things I love about it. And sir, your season is?
It is season number 4.
Yes, sir.
I mean, there's not a bad episode.
No,
there is not. It starts off post Red Wedding, which was a great episode, a great send off for Robb Stark, Catelyn Stark, everybody like that. And then episode 2 kicks off. It's like, guess what? The moment we've all been waiting for, it's happening. That's right. Purple Wedding happens immediately after Red Wedding. Joffrey gets his comeuppance, and I'm just like, yes, fuck this asshole.
Yeah, right.
And then we spin the season trying to figure out who done it. It's a mystery. And then I believe it's episode 9, the trial of Tyrion.
No, it was a couple. It was a couple episodes before, because episode 8 was the Mountain and the Viper, which that was. Yeah, I think it might be episode 6 or 7, 1 or 2.
Yeah, but the trial of Tyrion Lannister has my favorite line of all Game of Thrones. When he just looks at his father all smug and he goes, you know what? I didn't kill Joffrey, but I wish I had. The emotion in that scene, the way that Peter Dinklage delivers that line gives me chills to this day. You have a great wildling battle, I believe episode 8.
Yeah, 8 or 9, 1, 2.
Yeah, one of the two. And just the final scene of season 4 when freaking Shay goes and lies on Tyrion. He didn't force her to do anything. Tyrion goes in there and strangles her. You see the emotion as he does it. And then kills his father on the shitter. Like, so good. Season 4 is so good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my pick.
You know, it's funny that that's your favorite season because it's actually pretty much a perfect segue too, because you could almost call season 4 Tyrion season.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Peter Dinklage deserves a lot of acknowledgement for his role on the series.
He does.
Right.
So that leads us to the regular Crown segment, which we are giving for this episode to Peter Dinklage.
Yes, we are.
Tyrion Lannister.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations, Mr. Dinklage. You show a lot of emotion and heart in yesterday's episode, and you deserve this crown that we bestow upon you. You might be the hand to the brand of broken, but you, sir, are our king. Congratulations, exactly. Mr. Dinklage.
And now we have the MVP award.
Mm-hmm.
The person who from season 1 to season 8 has never given a bad performance or has always had great scenes, has always been a fan favorite. You guys know where we're going. Mm-hmm. Peter Dinklage is the MVP of the entire show. I mean, was it any doubt? Everybody's favorite character who's had the most fantastic lines, who has been the smart, cunning, like just badass character all the way through. Mm-hmm. I don't care what people say about season 8. They didn't make him dumb. No, they added a new element to his character.
Yeah. Tyrion is somebody that should not have survived all 8 seasons, but did. And he did that due his intelligence, and he aligned himself with the right people. But always by aligning himself with the right people, he was always a good guy. He never sold out his morals to do something right. He always paid his debts.
The battle speech in season 3.
Yeah, you mean for the battle? Yeah, for the Battle of Blackwater. Yep. Great.
When he's like, these people are out at our door and they're trying to take her home, so let's kill them.
Yeah, so he deserves this. Peter Dinklage deserves an MVP for the whole series.
Of our crowns.
Both of the crowns for the night. So again, you have your small crown, Peter Dinklage, but we give you a bigger crown for the whole series. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Peter Dinklage.
Sir.
All right, guys. Sadly, it's come to an end.
Yes.
8 seasons. 74 episodes?
I think it was 73 and then 74 the recap next week, but yeah, 73.
73 episodes. Started in 2011. We are here now. ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of Beyond the Throne. It has been an honor for me and Zad to be here with you great people each and every week. But technically, we missed one because Queen Daenerys tried to burn us, but it didn't work. But each and every week, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm so used to watching Game of Thrones every Sunday now.
Yeah, it's going to be weird to find something else to plug into it, but
I need it.
I know what you mean. Hey, you can always start from the beginning, rewatch.
Yep. And now I'm going to watch from Bran's perspective.
That's true, exactly. Yeah, even though again, one of my favorite parts of season 5, no Bran. Also, and mind you, this part Bran was kind of a nuisance at that point, but
yeah.
But
all right, Z. For the final time, where can the good people find you?
Good people, you can find me the ZADD on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at Zadius Smith. That's ZAD2Ds EUS Smith, or on Twitter at _ZADD, or on Instagram at find me at Zadius. That's again ZA2Ds EUS. Also, you can find me on doing movie and TV reviews. I just saw John Wick a couple days ago. What do I think about it? Go check out my review on the Stardust app at Retribution Z. That's at Retribution Z. And wow, you used to be able to find me on here, Beyond the Drums, but you can still find me
we might be doing something else in the future.
Very well could be, but you can also find me on doing trivia on multiple avenues on Facebook. Also, you can find me and my boy Nico Suave Regoli doing our Crisis on Earth TV show, which used to be kind of a recap show of like the Arrowverse shows for the week, but we're actually switching things up, and we're actually doing it on a new night. And tomorrow, Crisis comes to you tomorrow night on a Tuesday night for the first time ever. So definitely check it out. It'll be on YouTube, be on Facebook. Definitely check me out. Check us out. Now, Miss Hunter, a good sir, where can the good people find you?
If you guys did enjoy our Beyond the Thrones Game of Thrones recap series, hit that like button. Subscribe to Film Nerd TV down below. Also, guys, I officially working action industry. You guys, do I every single episode of the Action Guys podcast, full video uploads. So go check that one out. The latest video has Christian Harloff, and it's the rise and fall of Team Action. That's a good one to watch if you haven't watched the Houston event yet, or if you have a good refresher, would you say? So go check that out. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, for the very last time, when you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die.
You die. Peace
Bye,
out,
everybody.
people.